to explain how social replication work and to understand what you can learn from them, we're going to look today at 4 specific programs that use ICT and what some people call tech for good programs to solve the issues of a complex topic, which is violence against women. The programs that we are going to talk about today have been successful in a specific setting, and they'll be replicated somewhere else. Yes, ICT and violence against women are topics that can go hand in hand, and they can leverage very positive outcomes. So some of you know 1 out of 3 women will experience domestic violence at the hands of a partner in their lifetime. And women at age 15 to 44 across all cultures are more at risk of rape and other acts of violence than cancer, malaria, car accidents, or acts of war. And recently, in Australian research, I found that nearly half of all women are reporting of all women have experienced abuse or harassment online. And this number, sadly, goes up to 76% of those under 30-year-old. So a bit about the Womanity Award now. The Womanity Foundation had created an award for the prevention of violence against women in 2013. So again, supporting collaboration between organizations that work together to replicate an evidence-based program somewhere else in the world. And why ICT? Well, as you probably know, the development of ICT has created tremendous opportunity to increase women's safety and address violence against women, but it has also put women at further risk of harm and technology-related violence. So today we want to acknowledge ICT's increasing role and place in society, and we want to take advantage of their scalable nature. And we can see how these ICT programs can have an impact on the lives of women in various places in the world. When you do that, you're not just helping women, but you contribute to build peace. So today we're going to introduce 4 Womanity Award finalists. They come in pairs. We're very excited and because they're various diverse programs, and we're going to show you the videos of these programs so that you know how that looks like on the ground. And at the end of this very quick session, the Womanity Foundation's director, Antonella Notari-Fischer, will come next to me and will open the envelope and announce the winner of the award. And the winners will have a 3 years investment and the support. So I hope you learn a thing or two about these Take for Good programs and that you'll find it inspiring. So I'll have with me Professor Anne de Marle from Emergent Media Center and Katie Pelo from Grassroot Soccer, represent Grassroot Soccer South Africa. And if you want to take 1 line about what your program is about, just 1 line, and we'll show you video in a minute.
Sure. So hi, everybody. Our program is a video game designed for youth utilizing soccer that teaches how to counteract violence and violence against women and girls. And we are partnering with Grassroot Soccer, who has an on-the-ground program with youth counteracting HIV/AIDS and also uses soccer.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the video to see what Skills Breakaway is.
You can aptly think this is about changing women's lives, but equally important, it's about changing men's lives. If we can impact boys and the girls who are their friends, their families, and their future colleagues so that they together can create a positive future, the impact flows from ending violence against women and girls to creating a more just world.
playing that game and then seeing a character of a girl also coming into the team, joining the team, and there's also bad peer pressure that is happening because bad pressure is all around. So avoiding bad peer pressure can also make you a better person in life. So that stood out for me in the game.
Bringing this breakaway being done in a computer and having an interactive activity done on the field, bringing those together, you actually have a beautiful combination.
Well done. So let me ask you a very quick question. You work with soccer, you work with boys. How does working with boys really make a difference?
Sure. Statistically, boys who have witnessed domestic violence as youth are 10 times more likely to commit domestic violence and violence itself. And when we even look in the U.S., that 1/3 of children in the U.S. have witnessed domestic violence. It's a big problem. So working with youth and teen boys in particular at a critical age where they're forming their identities is works forwards into the future. We can impact directly there. Secondly, I want to say that, as Christophe and Wudun have said, women are half the sky, so likewise men are half the solution as well.
Yeah, and we really believe that while it's obviously important to work with women and girls and empower them to identify, address, and avoid violence, it's just as important to work with men and boys because they are typically the perpetrators of that violence. So we want to work with them to have more gender equitable beliefs and behaviors.
Thank you. And you've replicated in various countries already. And by the way, you can download the game. Can you just remind us the website?
Sure, you can go to www.breakawaygame.com.
So thank you. So you replicated in various countries, and the question is to both of you, in a nutshell, what are your top 3 learning points about this replication work?
Sure. I'm a big techie. So I love technology. I've been in it for a very long time. And yet my very first lesson in delivering and developing technology for social good is that technology alone is not a silver bullet. That really technology amplifies human behavior, and you need committed on-the-ground partners to make it work. Secondly, I'd like to say that in my work, youth are our change makers. They have the energy, the vitality, and really, and even the technology expertise. So by empowering them, we make future change. And then the last thing I'd like to say that when we do create technology, we should really look at what we're creating. And we have to look at different methodologies that work in human relationships, and how do we utilize those in technology to make change?
So you mentioned the Sabido methodology.
Yeah, so we're using, in Breakaway, we use a methodology called Sabido, and it's based on Jungian theory and on Bandura, with negative and positive characteristics. And through that model, we show choices.
Thank you. Katie, a question for you. What do you need in South Africa to boost Skills Breakaway?
Yeah, in order to boost Skills Breakaway in South Africa and then more broadly, first we believe it's really important to gain buy-in from the local community, not only the participants we're working in, but their family members, their parents, their friends, bring them into the activities we're doing, allow them to play the game. We also see Skills Breakaway being implemented more broadly in schools throughout South Africa. Grassroot Soccer has a memorandum of understanding with the Department of Basic Education in South Africa, so we're allowed to work in all schools. So we see this project being able to grow and be implemented within schools. And we also have put forward Grassroot Soccer and Breakaway to be incorporated into the South African National Strategic Plan on Gender-Based Violence. So getting support from the South African government will also be a great boost for Skills Breakaway.
Any kind of call to action you want from the audience today?
Wow. Well, play the game, and then have youth play it, and look at the cause roots and try and work towards the future.
Thank you very much, Katie and Anne. Thank you. I'd like to call Alex and Daysi, represented the Gender and Tech Institute.
Hi.
Hello, can you just tell me briefly your name and what organization you're representing?
Yes, I'm Alexandra and I come from Tactical Technology Collective that is located in Berlin and works at the international level.
And I'm Daysi Flores, and I'm from Just Associates, or Jazz, as people call us. And I'm coming from Honduras because I'm part of the team in Jazz MesoAmerica.
Okay, and the Gender and Tech Institute in one line is?
The gender is empowering women to the sovereignty of technology. That's what I would put it.
Okay.
We provide also training opportunities so women human rights defenders and women activists are able to develop mitigation strategies and increase their awareness about privacy and digital security.
Let's have a look at the video.
Okay, thanks.
Through the thank you credits. Well, great job. So, tell both of you, can you tell us practically how does digital safety and security training help women protect themselves in their communities or at home?
Bueno, as it was explained before, technologies is not a silver bullet, so you need always to understand the tools, but also the social methodologies and the process and behaviors. So basically, understanding and increasing your awareness about privacy and digital security can increase your safety, overall safety, by reducing the personal identifiable information that can lead adversaries to track and find you physically in one hand. Mm-hmm. It also enables to create networks of solidarity and support to counteract these situations of violence and find solutions. Mm-hmm. It also enables women to find information about their rights and allies. And finally, there's also a set of technologies that enables you to send alarms and have a network of support that can reach to you. No? So this would be like a little bit the diversity of functionalities of those kind of technologies.
So there's nothing about geekness. There's nothing of geekness about it. It's really something fundamental.
Well, I think nowadays everybody is using technologies, and women human rights defenders and women activists need to use information and communication technologies to raise awareness and make advocacy and reaching out and documenting what's happening, because they need to use those technologies. They need to be aware of what are the trade-offs, no, and what can be positive or harmful for them and the groups they're working with. So no, it's not about jigness, it's about understanding the technologies we are using on a daily basis.
Foundation work. So Daysi, tell me, what is the one myth that, about tech and women that you want to challenge through this program?
Well, one of the things I think we want to challenge with this is that we are only users of technology, that we cannot be involved in technology, but we are actually using technology. Another myth that we want to tackle as well is that women are not being involved in technology as well. So, which that's not true, because we have been involved in technology since the beginning of technologies, in different kind of technologies.
So, and because Gender and Tech Institute has taken place already in another setting, can you give me some examples of practical tools that the Institute's participants have created on their own recently?
Okay, in one hand, they have been able to understand and configure tools that are part of the free software communities regarding privacy and digital security, but then they have been also been involved in the development of specific technologies that were interesting for them in their own context. So I could see it like the installation of a global leak platform for denouncing human trafficking and sexual violence against women. There's been also women getting involved in managing servers to host contents that would be maybe censors or not host in other safe ways. Mm-hmm. There's been also a lot of women engaging in communities of free software in the sense either of developing code, but also making debugging and documentation and feedback about usability, which are other ways of getting involved with technology developments. And then I could give other examples, no? But
there was something that caught my attention last year, and that was a produce of the Gender Tech Institute that was zero tolerance, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Can you tell us quickly about this? This is great.
This is an international campaign to rehabilitate misogynist trolls, so they understand that they have a problem and they can become again human beings, that can live peacefully with other persons on the internet. So it was a set of videos that were humoristic, like a self-rehabilitation program for trolls in 5 days. And in the same sense, there was like all the programming of bots to identify misogynist trolls on Twitter. And during this campaign, they would receive tweeters from other bots inviting them to join this self-rehabilitation program and become, again, a happy human being.
So AA meetings meet, for trolls, basically. See, women, it's, the women's issue. We can have humor. We can laugh. Okay.
Humor, parody, and it's basic, no?
I think laughter is necessary in that context. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hi, Nancy, and hi, Francesco. Can you tell briefly who you are and which organization you represent?
I'm Nancy Glass. I'm from Johns Hopkins University.
I'm Francesco Kaburu from the International Committee for the Development of People.
Which is a large organization?
Yes, we are an international NGO. We are in South America, Asia, and in Sub-Saharan Africa. We are in 8 countries, including Kenya, Somalia, and South Sudan, and that's where I work for.
So tell us what the Tech for Good program in My Plan app is about.
So My Plan is a safety decision aid for female survivors of intimate partner violence. It helps them assess their danger in the relationship, establish priorities for their safety. That could include the safety of their children, if they have children, privacy, their commitment to their partner, having resources. And based on their priorities and their concern for their safety, that information then provides them with a tailored safety plan that is integrated into the local community and resources so that they can have access to those resources.
So you're going to replicate in
Somalia.
Let's have a look at the video.
masiiba baa taagan muruhugaadu fara badane dumararkayna hadashooho ay ku wada dhaleen misaacad la dhiixi walaahalo miyaad ogtahay habeenka lagu madheela waaha saacidaad adduun sirtooda lama ogaada saafiniman saadirka ilaaha wayhinbaa ka uumay feer walaalow ha ku dheelin waaha hooyadaha macaan walaalow ha ku dheelin waaha naagtaada soke midna gabadhahaadi weeheye gargaaru fidi midi ku dhashay miyaha cayn kartaa haddaba midii ku dhacday miyaha daawac gaarsine gargaar la-aanta hada maxaha geesi kuhu gale hobaley 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 haddaba waa madoowahaday sidii markayo digsiga miraayadii laacday baa haalay maleynayaa la muslimanowiye kiya musluhumiinta waan ka baxay gargaarna maha haysta.
Since 2012, CISP and Johns Hopkins School of Nursing have worked collaboratively to prevent and respond to violence against women. The My Plan project provides a resource to healthcare providers to support women to set priorities for their safety and their family safety, and developed an action plan for safety, all with the goal of preventing future violence for women and children.
So the original My Plan app was disseminated in the US, yes, in the college environment. And this one is going to be broadcasted through the health clinics in refugee settings, is that right? What makes the decision-making aid so powerful in this sense? What does it work?
Right. So what we've seen in healthcare, as a healthcare provider, what we see is that decision aids have been useful in helping women and men to make decisions about, for example, what medication to choose in a treatment. So we looked at that context of decision aids. As women, we know that they're making complex decisions about their safety on a daily basis. They're weighing the risk and benefits of taking action. And so we wanted to provide them with a resource to help them step through this, their decision and have more clarity on their values and priorities, understanding how dangerous the relationship is, and using validated measures to help them do that, with the end result of providing them with resources in their local area, because so many women don't know about the availability of resources such as the CISP-supported health clinics that have trained counselors that can help them implement their safety plan.
So, thank you. So, we said at the beginning, the Tech for Good programs, they include actually people, they involve people. It's not just something you can throw and just run away. You were replicating in Somalia and Kenya for these specific programs. In refugee settings, you need to work with local authorities, with governments, which we know are not always that stable. What challenges do you typically come across, and what advice can you give around building relationships with these entities?
Yeah, working in Somalia, we know when we're introduced to a minister, there's a chance his replacement is already on his way, So it can be quite challenging. But nevertheless, we need to work with authorities because we are development actors. We are not there to substitute or replace Somalis, In terms of scalability and sustainability, we need the government to make sure our interventions are spread all over the territory. And in terms of acceptance, Somalia is not an easy place to be, And the main strategy to reduce risks in terms of security is the acceptance of the community. Otherwise, you'll never be able to implement. In this specific case, we are thinking about signing an agreement with the Minister of Women and Human Rights Development in order to second CISP staff into her docket. And she will be able, in this period, to build the capacities of the ministry and her collaborators, her assistants, etc., to utilize actually the My Plan app.
Thank you. Nancy, talking about the tech and connecting your work with a community like the Ouishare community, that's for collaborative people, tech people, sharing people. What is your message to these people? How can they collaborate to the app? How can they help replicate? Or what can they do? What's your call for action there?
So we are very committed to collaborations. One of the key things about the safety decision aid is we want to develop a safety plan that's linked to local resources so that they're useful for the women and her family. So we work with organizations that know what the resources are and can adapt the app content to that specific context. So sometimes it's different language, it's different resources, it's the priorities may change because violence against women, in Somalia, the notion of going to a shelter doesn't exist. The police may not be a good resource. So we have to think of other strategies. So you really have to understand the context of where you're working so that you don't put women in greater harm they develop a safety plan and the resources aren't there to help them implement that safety plan. So really the experts in the community and engaging survivors, advocates, and experts in replicating and developing the app is key, I think.
So a Ouishare event somewhere in the East Corner of Africa would be a welcome plan for you.
It would be great.
Awesome.
It would be wonderful.
Well, I hope let's make this happen. It's a call for action. Thank you very much and well done. Hi. Can you briefly say who you are and which organizations you're representing?
Yes, hello, my name is Lulu Barrera. I'm from Luchadoras, and I'm also representing La Sandía Digital. We are two collectives of women media producers in Mexico.
And hi, my name is Jack. I'm based in Malaysia. I'm from the Association for Progressive Communications. We are a global network organization with membership in different parts of the world, in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. And we helped initiate the Take Back the Tech campaign. In one line, what is Take Back the Tech? Well, Take Back the Tech is basically a simple call to everyone, all users of the internet, and especially women and girls, to take control of technology to end violence against women.
Let's have a look at the video. Thank you.
Violence that women face at home and on the streets is now also taking place online. Most of online violence against women is carried out by someone they know. Women under 30 are the most frequent targets. Online violence makes women go offline and reject technologies. It affects their ability to move freely without fear, and it can result in physical or sexual harm. But networks save lives. Against isolation, they offer responses. They accompany and give organized support. Take Back the Tech is a global campaign that calls for women and girls to take control of technology to end violence against women. In Mexico, the campaign will encourage women to go from being users to becoming creators of the web, to challenge gender stereotypes through storytelling, to react and raise awareness about online violence, and to create networks to amplify collective power.
It takes a lot of courage to be disruptive in this space, to be innovative in this space, because you have to also train people. I mean, for a lot of people that these organizations are working with, there is certainly a journey to acquire the technology, to acquire the skills, to acquire the knowledge on using it, but also just the courage to innovate, to use new ways, and to challenge the old ways and be disruptive in that way. And we saw an immense lot of courage and innovation. And I think the last thing is also that just the spirit of collaboration, the solidarity, the empathy, the strong just willingness to share and engage with each other. We really gained a lot from that, and we'll continue to.
Exactly, we'll continue because the one of the things that have emerged of the whole process and the application and that work that you all have done together is that ICT for Womanity network has been born. And it's we'll never say goodbye to everybody, to the finalists, because
staying with us.
They've created a sort of a great way to collaborate, to exchange ideas, to serve each other, to challenge each other. Wasn't that great? Also very much in the spirit of Ouishare, wasn't it?
Exactly. No, I think it's a very good fit. And thanks to Servane, also her leadership, I think we should recognize here. Yes, big applause.
Thank you. I think what's interesting is if you just follow us and follow this adventure in the coming months, and if you want to join, is to just simply follow the hashtag ICT for Womanity, for as a name, not as a number, and be part of the conversation, and not just the conversation, the action,
yes,
and test and challenge and come and collaborate. Now I know that you want to open this blue envelope.
I know. I want to and I don't want to, because now is the Oscar time.
We've got 3 minutes.
And it kind of, obviously, this is a moment to rejoice and celebrate. In a way, it also breaks my heart because we had to make a choice. And I truly wish we could have onboarded all the finalists, because it was an extremely difficult decision to make. I think in the end, as we said, we don't want to say goodbye to any of you, but we do make a decision to collaborate for the next 3 years with Take Back the Tech.
Okay, this is the time for quotes for Twitter. So, lady, make one sentence of it. What do you make of what does it mean winning this award for you? And you know the hard work that's coming up.
Well, this is just starting. Everyone can join. We're opening up a conversation. The internet is shaping every day and more our politics, not on the politics of everyday life, which is what we want to change. More women having more conversations about great things we can do with tech to end violence.
Everything she said.
No, you can't get away with that.
No?
I need a second quote from you. Please do it, because you're carrying. I need to say that you created this 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So this is a time where you have to stop being humble, and we can all do this. Sometimes like you raise your hand, just raise your hand. No, seriously, and then turn it on the and then look, and turn it on the other shoulder. Please, turn it on the other shoulder.
Oh, all right, okay.
And then do this. Yes.
No, I'm really, really happy. I think one of the most awesome thing about this is having a real opportunity to also work with, I guess when we first started, we really didn't imagine Take Back the Tech to be quite so interesting to so many people. And it's been really amazing to see how many people have taken it up and really be interested to be part of the community, to do something. And this is, what did I want to say? Okay. I think what is kind of like most awesome about this is really a very concrete and solid opportunity to work so closely with Lulu and her networks, whom I love, and they are absolutely inspiring. And I think, we will grow the movement.
Well done.